Most of us had a heck of a storm this week, huh? I know many folks in our community were without power and/or internet for a long time. These big, wet March storms can pack quite a punch. At my house, we had just under 2 feet, and it's been melting as fast as it can, but it's still too deep and loose to navigate, even with snowshoes, for me and for my dog, Deja. The day after the storm, we went out to get a closer look at some tree damage in the backyard. Our magnolia is, I don't know, but we're hoping for the best when it melts. Anyway, so we went back to try and look and see how many branches had really come down, and the dog was just sort of wiggling and flailing all over the place like a seal. And she wiggled her way back over to the house under the eaves where the snow wasn't as deep. And I said, never mind, and we took the road. Yesterday, after days of compacting and melting, we tried again, but it was still too deep. Deja was getting stuck and a little panicky, and I was sliding all over the place, even in snowshoes. As I poorly navigated in the snow, I thought about the balance between the places where we live and build things and the wild places. Places like where the green man is a protector. I shared the Sophian Lion Faw's version of his story with you today because I like the idea of the green man being a role that gets passed from person to person, as entitled squires and princes need to learn to care for others and the wild. But I think that is a less common understanding of that being. The green man is often described as an elemental creature, or a spirit that protects the wild, a symbol of rebirth and the cycle of life. When we have our hands in the dirt, helping things grow in our gardens, or we walk in the woods, or give thanks for the plants and animals that sustain our bodies, or stop to breathe and be, when we notice the change in seasons and light, we can find deeper connections with the cycle of death and rebirth of which we are a part. Tomorrow at the Equinox, unless you're either at the North or South Pole, which I don't imagine will be the case for any of us, wherever you are on Earth, the sun will rise due east and set due west. The northern hemisphere will get more light from the sun until the next equinox in the fall. This is a moment of balance between day and night, and a turning towards spring, life, and growth. Around here, birds and other critters have begun migrating and emerging from winter hiding spots. Maybe even the ladybugs will emerge from my bathroom window casement, where they have been all winter, and head back out into the world. Equinox is a snapshot, a moment in our orbit when the plane of the Earth is straight against the sun. We're still at an axis, but we're straight against the sun. At this balancing point of light and darkness and turning of seasons, we might think about balance in our own lives and in our communities. Did you ever play on a teeter-totter or a seesaw when you were a kid? I still sometimes think of this as a metaphor for more holistic balance in my mind. On a teeter-totter, if you have 2 kids with very different mass, you had 2 options that I can think of, and both are good. One is to find more kids to go on with you, mixing and matching until it comes out about right, and then you can go up and down smoothly. Another option that's a little more dicey, but definitely fun, is to play with where people are on the seats. If the lighter kid scooted as far back as they could and the heavier kid scooted in, it would sometimes work. And you could also sometimes come in closer than the seat and sit directly on the pole, hanging on for dear life as you go up and down. This works as physics and also metaphor. When stuff is heavy, to get balanced, you'll either need buddies and or to think outside the box and change your distance from the stuff, from the fulcrum that's supposed to help balance you. You may have a whole playground of teeter-totters to balance: work, family, health, community, identities, maybe even a teeter-totter with worry about all the teeter-totters. You may also not have all the tools that you need to balance things out, and that's where we need to help each other and bring a lens of justice, even to our metaphors. Balance is vital because without it, we can be stuck on the ground or in the air. Balance brings more options and movement to our lives and requires mindfulness and reflection, which can be a challenge to find. It is vital to us as individuals, as communities, and in the web of life. So as we celebrate the vernal equinox, may we be attentive to the cues in the natural world calling to us, literally through the birds, singing out to us to pay attention, to renew and seek hopeful signs, to find balance. If you're able, I encourage you to go outside tomorrow. It's supposed to be a beautiful day, and feel the sun on your face. If you can't go outside, sit in a window, find some sun to come onto your skin. Take a moment to imagine the earth slowly making its journey, its year-long journey around the sun. On this day of balance and life stirring underground, even under all that snow, feel the sun on your face, the wind on your skin, and pause and be present. May we always have folks who can help us balance out the heavy stuff. And may we be creative together in how we approach balancing out life's challenges and cycles. May we open all of our senses and pause at the wonder of this life, this place we call home, and the larger universe and web of life that hold us. May we experience renewal in this time of growth and rebirth. So may it be, and amen.